Hello, I'm Renee Craig, and I'm an instructor through the OUCARES Teen Social Club. And I'm excited to be here today to talk with you about building resilience and coping strategies. I felt like this was something that was an important topic right now. We've all faced a lot of change, and with change can sometimes come stress or disruption of routines, which can be frustrating. And having those strategies that we can lean on during some difficult times like this, and to adjust to these changes will help us to come out of this stronger and more resilient. So, with regard to this, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the idea of scheduling for success. It's challenging at this point with the number of disruptions that we have had to our schedule to develop a new schedule. And that is something that is important, to develop some new routines, because we've all just had perhaps a lot of things fall out from under our day-to-day or our weekly schedule. So whether you are now attending class virtually, or perhaps you're not able to connect with teachers or other supports as regularly as you were before, you may have had sports or other outside activities that were really meaningful to you and important to your routine. So now is a time to kind of think about how can we cope with that change and how can we develop some new routines that will be beneficial. So for scheduling for success, it's important to develop a healthy routine to help us deal with the change and stress in our lives. Building into our routine times for things that you enjoy, self-care, getting outside regularly, completing chores, completing if you have any schoolwork, building that into a structure or routine and writing that down, or having that on a computer, or having that on maybe your phone calendar, and having that repeating then so that you are reminded to stick with a routine on a regular basis. That's certainly something healthy that you can add into your schedule at this point. And having something perhaps on, say, a phone or a calendar system that can have a reminder sent to you is helpful for keeping you accountable to sticking with that schedule. Another important thing to think about during this time is healthy social media and media use. So we want to limit the amount of time we are spending on media and social media during this time, especially if it's bringing us a lot of stress. It may be important to know what's going on in the world around us, but those sources that we're engaging with and the content we're choosing to read through or spend our time on, it's important to think about what that is and how that makes you feel. With regard to limiting your social media or your media use, or at least structuring that in a way that you're choosing positive outlets for that, this could look like scheduling maybe a half hour or an hour a day to particular websites, maybe reliable sources or of media that you can relate to. Avoid being drawn into the comment sections. These can really suck us in and take a lot of time out of our day, or sometimes be stressful to us to read about, perhaps people have different opinions than us, or there may be things that are presented in social media that may make us feel frustrated or mad or upset or sad, or sometimes it can just be that it is just occupying too much of our time and that we need to be looking elsewhere to fill some of that time. And that's where it kind of comes back to building a healthy schedule or routine to stick with. Another important thing to think about when thinking about social media and media use is to set a screen cutoff time for yourself and develop a relaxing end of day or bedtime routine that can help you keep in a similar sleep cycle. Certainly during times of stress or change, or having a disruption to our schedule, that can also sometimes throw our sleep off as well, which can then have an impact on many other things through the course of our day and our week, from everything from how we're interacting to others to what we're able to accomplish. So setting that limit for yourself, some devices you're able to just set a time that they power down or lock, or have a reminder of perhaps a bedtime routine. Something healthy to consider there. As far as coping with disruptions and change, there are a number of strategies that you can use to develop a healthy coping routine, a healthy self-care routine for yourself. One idea is to keep a self-care diary for yourself and to remember to make time for yourself each day. So thinking about what kinds of self-care are helpful to you. And self-care doesn't always have to look like time just spent doing things that are perhaps enjoyable to you. It might also be having an earlier bedtime. It may also be building in some time to gain new skills. Building in time for exercise or getting outside or getting into the sunshine on a regular basis, if possible, can certainly be healthy for us and on many different levels. Consider things such as meditation or exercise, reading for pleasure. Another strategy is focusing on your breathing. So on average, the average person takes about 15 breaths a minute. To improve some of that positive energy and to relax yourself, count to 4 as you inhale and count to 4 as you exhale. Slow down your breath and see if you can get that number down to 8 breaths per minute. Write down all the qualities of people that you respect or admire or want to be like, thinking about, or consider maybe starting a gratitude journal. It's a great way to focus on the positive and think about all of the good that we have in our lives at this point as well, even when things are hard. On that is the idea of reframing. So reframing is a skill to build resilience. Using strategies of reframing and positive thinking can help you move forward toward meeting your goals. So there's stress and there are stressors. We often cannot control our stressors, but we can control our stress and how we respond to those stressors. So first you can think, what is stressing you? Maybe it's a particular person. Maybe it is, maybe you find that you're stressed when you are on a particular social media site. Maybe you are finding you are stressed because you're not able to get out and play a certain sport or activity that you really enjoyed. There could be a number of reasons that you may be feeling stress at this point. Then think about, what can you change? What can you change maybe perhaps in your routines? What can you build in? How can you control perhaps your response to that stress? And then also, what are the benefits or the positives of facing that challenge? So one could be during this time of social distancing, that certainly can be a challenge for us on many different levels. But it can also be an opportunity for focusing on maybe some personal growth, having more time with family, perhaps challenging ourselves to reach out to friends or people that we maybe have not been connecting with lately, and using this opportunity to connect with them through a different platform. So whether that's calling or texting or using some kind of video messaging. And then it's always important to think about humor. How can we kind of make light of some of the challenging situations we are in as well, and find the positive and uplifting side of that. So with that, I'm going to be passing on this resource for you, and it is a coping strategy activity here, and it talks about different types of coping strategies, proactive coping, and then situational or problem-focused coping. You can read more about those. And you can take a look at all of these different ideas that are listed here that you could build into your daily or weekly routine for making sure you're making time to build that resilience and cope with the stress that you may be experiencing. So I encourage you to take a look at this, check off a few of those things that you know work well for you, such as maybe exercise or writing in a journal or spending time in nature, using a calendar, going for a walk, spending time with family or friends, playing with a pet. There are so many different ways that we can build these things into our routine. Look at what maybe you know has worked for you in the past, and certainly build those things in, and look at maybe one or two things that you could think about adding into your schedule. So I encourage you to do this, and I hope that all is well.